Yeah, so let's talk. So, your cousin was working yesterday.
Yeah,
Tim Bradley. We got in the building early. Ant was a little behind us, not too far. No, I was just saying because we watched. So we got there to watch the young prospects. So let's start with the first one, Duke Ragan, Cincinnati's own.
Duke had a night.
Yeah, and we have to shout out D'Angelo Fuentes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was his friends or his family. When we were walking in, they say, make sure to talk about him on the podcast. He fought well.
True story.
Yeah.
They stopped me and said, "Man, hey, our friend, I don't remember what they said.
I think they just said like our guy or something.
Is going to win tonight. You need to watch out for him and make sure you talk about him on the podcast." Like, gave me all that heat right in front.
Yeah. And I was feeling okay.
I said, okay.
And then was the next sentence.
Hold up, I read the shirt. So I said, D'Angelo Fuentes, hey? He said, yeah, he getting in the ring with Duke Ragan.
And I said, oh.
My very first reaction was, no.
Right.
No.
That's who he fought?
Yeah, because we're just thinking it's a guy that's on this undercard. And we're like, okay, yeah.
A silver medalist.
Yeah, we'll hype him up.
Prospect.
Sure. And then
he's not going to get knocked off in his
Duke
fight.
Ragan. Right?
My
I was like,
first thought is, no. But out of their confidence and out of the fact that anything can happen, I pulled back off of that energy immediately. And I said, all right, give me something. And they said he's a hard fighter. He's going to be a hard fighter. He's going to bring it to Duke. He's going to win tonight, and gave us all this. And I was like, all right, I hope your guy does well. So they come up and they're actually sitting in front of us and they look back at me and they're like, it's about to happen. I was like, all right, cool. So they announce this guy. I stand up, boo! And I look at them, you know what I mean? Like just to have fun.
Yeah.
But then,
he fought great.
But then he just to speak to D'Angelo Fuentes real quick. He's standing in the corner and I'm looking at him, just reading his body language, and I'm like, y'all gave me all this energy before this fight. I don't think this is gonna go the way y'all want it to go. And I'm not gonna look at y'all the whole fight because I don't want y'all to look at me and me have to look at y'all. I didn't want to deal with it. But as the fight starts, shout out to D'Angelo Fuentes. He lost the fight, and it was a fair decision.
Yeah.
It was a competitive fight, and I thought that the worst could be a draw, and obviously I don't want to see that for Duke.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is actually a close competitive fight, and if it happens to be a draw, I don't know if I could argue it being a draw. I did think that Duke won the fight.
Yeah, I did as well.
But I mean, I guess out of wanting to see their friend succeed and all those types of things, it was like, hey.
And performed admirably in a loss, for sure.
He gave Duke a lot of trouble, and it was, Carson and I, we were talking about the fight as it was going, and it was something that I had saw from the Olympic Games out of Duke, where when Duke was aggressive, he was really successful in the Olympic Games. And so I just kind of, as I was watching the fight, I was pulling from what I had remembered from the Olympic Games and what he was doing there. And after, in the second round, I looked at you, I said, hey, he's got to be aggressive. If he's aggressive, he'll take control and he'll do well. And there were a few moments where he got overly aggressive, like where he asserted himself, and he had a lot of success right there. But I digress. It was a competitive fight for Duke. I think much more competitive than the matchmakers expected it to be, in the corner as well. So maybe there's a few things that you take from there. Your preparation. We're at this early stage, Duke, you're not going to know every name that you get in the ring with. You're not going to be able to get film on everybody that you get in the ring with.
Just be the best version of yourself.
At this early stage, so get yourself to the best version of yourself before you get in the ring. And then beyond that, man, you got to run your hands a little bit more. I like what you said.
Yeah, it was just his pace is almost like a heavier weight.
Yeah.
Like he's at 126, you really have to run your hands.
Yeah.
And when he was getting hit by a lot of wide punches, it wasn't when he was running his hands. It was when he wasn't running his hands.
It was when he was just kind of like...
He was kind of backing up, and then he'd get hit with a wide shot. When he was throwing his hands, it wasn't like he was getting countered a lot by wide punches. But what'd you think, Zittel? You were there for...
I was curious if... first of all, I think it was good for his development.
Definitely.
These fights some of them are going to be tough on the way up.
To my point, the adversity that you face right here, maybe it's a thing where he knows, like, I didn't train as hard as I could have, or I didn't get any film of this guy, whatever the case may be, but it's kind of like that little check, you know what I mean? So,
part of me was curious to see what you think about this, Shawn, too, is, he has one knockout and 7 or 8 wins now, and you wonder if you start feeling that pressure to get stoppages, to look impressive, so that you go from the untelevised to the televised, like where Keyshawn's at, his fellow silver medalist, and some of the other prospects get on that main card. So part of me wondered, is he staying in there a little bit more than he really needs to in range and exchanging more than he needs to try to be exciting, to try to get a knockout, to keep, because you feel that pressure sometimes as a young guy trying to go up.
I'm going to answer that question and say no.
Okay.
So what you were thinking was incorrect.
Right.
Because he didn't do anything that was like to excite. You know what I mean?
I think it's actually potentially the opposite. I think maybe if he did run his hands more, he would work himself maybe into a TV spot. Again, he's young. He's still, I'm not watching that fight yesterday going, Duke Ragan, I'm not so sure now. Just adjustments. He's young.
I just mean he seemed to be winging with the guy a lot instead of fighting off the jab, picking his shots. And
I felt like if anything, the guy forced him into that.
Right.
And then there were moments where the guy actually forced him to fight back. I thought for the most part he backed up and was trying to jab, head, body, and try to look for things or set up things. And then so let's also do this. You have those fights and those experiences off of TV. Probably was on the Plus, I imagine.
Plus.
But you have those off of the main stage so that you're ready once you get onto the main stage. So again, we're pretty much reporting on something that most people didn't even see out of the fact that we are fans of these young guys that are coming up and
Olympians.
We want to see them do well. So I think if anything, this will help Duke improve as a boxer, just having that small bit of adversity earlier in your career. It's an experience. And it'll benefit him once he does make it, to the
And you
main
always
stage.
say you got to go through experiences like that.
Yeah.
He
First
just
to make
faced one
champions,
last night.
We all face it a different way.
And I'm pretty sure early on you faced a guy that gave you hell.
And he didn't lose either, which
Exactly.
we always talk about. If you're going to learn,
Yeah.
it's not a loss.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I've also never seen K. Karoma smile. I told Shawn that yesterday. Every time I see K. Karoma, he is so locked in and so serious. I've never seen him smile, but he went...
His lips, he doesn't smile much. When he starts to smile, his lips be like, what you doing?
He went, so he trains Duke Ragan, and then literally goes back, changes into a Troy Isley shirt, and comes back out. Helps obviously with Troy Isley. We can move in his fight.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Al Mitchell's understudy.
Yeah. And Troy, I thought Troy looked good.
I did too.
Yeah, I like Troy. He might be of the Olympic guys. Keyshawn is number 1 for me, and then probably 2A and 2B would be Tiger Johnson and Troy Isley.
Nice.
Yeah, I felt like Victor Tony gave him some good resistance.
Yeah. Youngstown, Ohio fighter.
He was kind of tough to hit for Troy, to hit clean. And a lot of times he was reaching the chest with his right hand. But he really just continued. It's like Duke. It was just a good development fight. He needed someone in there to give him some resistance so he can actually grow instead of just bombing everybody out. But he's strong. He's just he's not the fastest guy.
Yeah.
Not the most flexible and fluid guy, but I think that's going to get better in time.
Cuts off the ring pretty well.
Yes.
Was one of the things I
That's
noticed.
the guy that came and asked you for pointers?
Yeah.
He came over afterwards.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
that. Yeah, you go to the OG.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, I'm not trying to be your coach. I don't want to put anything in your head that and make you feel like you need to change anything. I said, but there's this one specific move that you're making. I said, I love that move. I said, but then you have to have that answer after that move. I said, it's like rhyme and reason. I said, the pivot that you make is the rhyme, but then what's the reason behind that? I said, you created the opening, but then you didn't go forward for that opening, So, I did. I just thought he was coming over to say, hey. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was good to, we exchanged numbers. I told him anything he ever needs. I don't want anything from him. Just let me know, and I'll do the best I can to help.
I thought he looked better as the fight went on.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. I felt like it seemed to be like, again, another young professional boxer figuring out a way to pace himself and find where he wants to pick it up and things like that. So, and I didn't see, he did 6 rounds. I didn't see the same Troy Isley every round, which is, again, another good step in the right direction for him.
Learning, growing in the midst of the fight.